Aries, what's up? Welcome in. My name is Millie. This is the Ghost Bride Tarot. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We're going to do a pretty extensive reading for you guys, Aries. We're going to do some channel messages that I've pulled through with my spirit team, and then we're going to look at your tarot. So for your tarot portion, we're going to do internal realm versus external realm, and then we'll do heart space versus relationships. And then to finish off, we will do unexpected and surprises from the universe. So stick around if you've got the time, settle in. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. It really actually does help the channel, apparently. Whatever, you guys know how this stuff works. If you get anything from this, definitely leave a comment. Let me know how this fits for you guys, because I fucking love it when it actually hits views. And then I know I'm on the right track. You guys know that you're on the right track. And yet we all get to have a little play together. All right, so your energy is kind of lush. The last reading that I filmed, I was cranky Frankie. I was heaps cranky for it. And then I've cleansed that energy and I've come into your reading, and your reading's lush. So there is something around like a breakthrough that's happening for you guys. Spirit's saying something around the pennies dropped. So there has been some kind of epiphany that's happened for you, or some kind of enlightenment that you've achieved. The way that it's coming through for a lot of you is this deep enlightenment has come through self-inquiry. So it's come through going within, it's come through looking at yourself, it's come through silencing the mind for some of you, and like some kind of meditative experience. There has been some kind of mental breakthrough that's like fully aligned things for you. It's like it's slotted quite a lot into place from what I can see, and you're feeling free from that place is what Spirit's saying. So if you're not yet there, excuse me, stumbling over my words, I would definitely say that that's going to be coming in for you guys this month, Aries. And it does feel like a lot of this is due to your hard work. It's not like something that's just going to fall into your lap. This is going to be an achievement that you very much worked towards and being quite successful at, is what Spirit's saying. So this pennies dropped piece is coming through for you guys. I'm also getting stuff around breaking free of self-imposed restriction, and something about putting your money where your mouth is and backing yourself, yeah? And like, this came through super strong for you guys. They were very much like, it's in capitals, yeah? So there is this energy around like backing yourself and really not allowing the mind to become Spirit's saying a space of limitation. Yeah, I would recommend to you guys, if you don't already meditate and things like that, trying to get into some kind of practice where you can quieten the mind and find some form of soul expansion, because it does feel like this Phoenix rising energy is like things bubbling up from the surface for you. For a lot of you, it does feel like there is some kind of spiritual awakening that's happening here. I'm getting stuff about like navigating your path back to equilibrium and things like that. So trust in the process, and remember, it is one step at a time. Spirit's saying be really gentle with yourself, particularly if you're experiencing some form of fragility around whatever's happening here. Spirit's saying for some of you, this breaking free of self-imposed restriction, it is some form of artwork or work or something that you would like to do, and there is some form of like self-doubt or low self-worth or a lack of self-confidence or something that's really like restricting whatever it is that your soul is kind of pushing you to do. Take your time with that as you navigate those barriers, but I feel like you will find a way to like kind of skirt around any self-imposed restrictions. Spirit saying it is a mental thing. From what I can see, it doesn't feel like it's actually a barrier that's presented to you. There is a connection to the Taurus reading with that one. So if you're feeling that things are really quite sticky and stuck, I would check that reading out if that calls to you guys. Something around something around a pleasant surprise for you guys this month, and it comes through with super intense energy. The only other connection that I've got with that is the King of Swords. So this could be an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini that brings this to you. This could be somebody that you work for. This could be somebody in a position of power. This could be Spirit saying this could just be a fatherly figure that you very much trust their judgment. Like you trust the place this pleasant surprise is coming from, is how Spirit's presenting it. Okay. So that's nice for you guys. Then I was getting stuff around a private party, yeah, and then I was hearing stuff around the dream state. So there is like something that's like really exciting and fun for you guys this month, but it does feel like there's an element of secrecy or even mystery surrounding it. So pay attention to that as that comes up for you guys. Then I was hearing the word Elysium, right? Spirit was like, I actually wrote it as that movie. You know the movie Elysium with is his name Matt Damon? I don't know his name. One of those Hollywood guys. So I channeled it as the movie Elysium, and then I just was like pondering, I wonder what that word actually means. So Elysium means a place or state of ideal happiness. The Elysian Fields meaning, also known as Elysium, is an area within the underworld in Greek mythology where the souls of heroes and the most virtuous people reside. And then Elysium meaning in Urdu, a dwelling place assigned to happy souls after death, a seat of future happiness, paradise, hence any delightful place. So there is something around you guys being like perhaps coming from a place or a feeling of like lack or frustration or something, and then like Spirit saying stepping into the Garden of Eden. Like for some of you, there has been like quite a hard road that you've traversed down, and the way that Spirit's presenting it to me is like a bush track, yeah, and I see you like bush bashing and really having like, Spirit's now showing me a machete, like it's a really overgrown track that you've been traversing down. Every step has potentially been like met with barriers from what I can see. And now the way that Spirit's presenting it to me is like you just come out to this clearing and it's like an oasis. It's the Garden of Eden. It's Elysium. Spirit's saying, fuck yes, that's lush energy for you guys. Then I was getting stuff around like full bloom, right? So something that's like, it does feel like it's something that you're bringing to fruition. It does feel like something that you're nurturing, like a seed that you've planted that's now grown and blossomed, Spirit's saying. Yeah, so for a lot of you, this is incoming energy, Spirit saying now. So for a lot of you, you're not yet in this channeled messages portion of the reading, and I'm excited to get into your tarot and see what's happening at present. But the way that it's coming through is like a lot of this stuff, and Spirit saying a lot of you are still in the thick of the bushes and like really, really struggling to navigate the path. Some of you may not even be able to see the path, and you may just like be walking blindly or feeling like that. And this energy of like back yourself comes through really strongly here. Like I don't actually see you stopping or being fearful or anything like that. Like you're going head first into these bushes, but it's slow going from what I can see. And there is a sense of frustration with you around that. So I feel like this full bloom energy and like these seeds planted prior energies, perhaps like some kind of surprise coming in from the universe, where it does feel like you've kind of set this up for yourself. Yeah, the way that it's coming through is like this is all due to the hard work that you've put in, Aries. So I would very much like stay the path, stay the course, and keep fighting the good fight, whatever it is that you're coming up against here, because it does feel like you're going to overcome this quite quickly. And it does feel like it's like a sudden shift that happens. Like it's like you're going bush, and then suddenly it's just clearing and you're like, what? And then I see you like running and skipping, and like, I don't know what you guys would do if you saw a field, but that's what I would do. And now I'm hearing wildflowers. All right, something around matching tattoos for you guys this month. You may be getting a matching tattoo, or you might have a matching tattoo with someone. If you do share a matching tattoo with someone, that person may be of significance to you this month, so pay attention to that. 12:44 on the confirmation timer there. I was getting stuff around a suit and tie, so you may be invited to some kind of formal event this month or something like that. Like there is something around a suit and tie. And then I was getting stuff also about like a really remote location, like perhaps somewhere that you have to get to by boat. And I'm actually seeing it be like a speedboat rather than like a rowboat or anything like that. But it's very much a remote location, Spirit saying, and it's surrounded by water. Okay. I'm hearing stuff, oh yeah, and this could be connected to that black tie event, yeah. I'm hearing stuff about Lord of the Dance, and the way that I was getting it was with that David Bowie song, Let's Dance. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. You know that song? I won't do it, choose anymore, but that song. Okay, stuff around that. Then I was getting stuff, right? I keep hearing this and I didn't want to put it in because sometimes the messages for the collective are also for me. But there is something about the plumber. So you guys might need to call a plumber this month. There is also stuff around tradies. Like, I don't know why. Maybe you guys are renovating or like having to call in tradies for some reason. There is like something around the plumber, particularly plumbing. And then they just said like the broad tradies. So that's coming through for you guys. Stuff around a new kid on the block. So there is some kind of new element, like somebody that's been added, and it does feel like this is like someone that you get along with, someone that you're quite accepting of as they come into the fold, Spirit saying. It's definitely an addition. I don't really know why it's important, but it is. Then I'm getting stuff. There's something around deja vu for you guys this month, yeah? Particularly those of you that are in this like really tough energy of like not really knowing what to do or where to go or like how long the path is going to be. Spirit saying there is stuff around deja vu coming through for you. I'll pay attention to that as that arises for you, because there's a lot of messages that come from within that perhaps take a little time to decipher in the mind space. So take your time with it. But just pay attention. I would very much be Spirit saying like having an awareness is really important for you guys this month. An awareness of your surroundings, an awareness of your interactions, an awareness of your own emotions and your own reactions to things. There is a lot coming through around like this penny has dropped for a lot of you. For others of you, it will drop, and it's going to be that epiphany, that breakthrough that you need to then Spirit saying feel a sense of freedom. Something around willpower is really important for you guys, and that does make sense with everything that we've got thus far in the channeled messages. And then I also channeled the word makeup, right? And when I channeled the word makeup, I channeled it as like makeup, but then when I was doing the rest of the page, because I just write wherever and then Spirit like leads me around. So the willpower and the makeup were right next to each other. So there may be somebody that you need to like make up with, or something that you need to make up for that takes a little bit of willpower here. It does come through like they're connected is what Spirit's saying to me. Like they're very much connected. All right. Also, I'm getting something around healthy detachment. Yeah, and it does feel like it's material possessions, but you should try to practice healthy detachment with everything. Yeah, this life is temporary, this body is temporary, these possessions are temporary, like everything is temporary. So try to really have a sense of gratitude for what you've got and the relationships that you've got and things like that. But also, yeah, try not to become too attached to things, particularly if that attachment can be harmful to you in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, so it does come through like there is maybe a reassessment that needs to be had on your behalf in regards to some kind of emotional attachment that you've got towards something. I'm getting a lot of stuff this month for you guys around tickets. Like you might be buying a lot of tickets. Some of you might be selling a lot of tickets, Spirit saying. So there is something around that. And then I was also getting the time 5:53 p.m. and very specifically p.m. But if you feel like AM calls to you, I would set an alarm for either of those times and just see what happens around that, because there is something coming through for you guys. It's very important around this like Phoenix rising energy. Yeah, so pay attention to that as that's arising for you guys. I'm seeing a lot of stuff around frogs. Yeah, so if you see frogs, they're a really good sign for you guys this month. All right, Spirit wants me to look at the spiritual meaning of frogs. Spiritual. Yeah. So in its presence near water bodies, the frog becomes a symbol of purification and renewal. The spiritual energy of the frog encourages us to cleanse our minds, bodies, and souls, to release emotional baggage that weighs us down, and to allow the healing waters of life to wash away impurities. So yeah, there does seem to be like this like cleansing that's happening with you guys, and it does feel like some of you are fragile through that process. So be gentle with yourself. If you're a fragile person or have fragile emotions, handle yourself with the appropriate care required to get you through to a place where you feel a sense of strength within. Again, Spirit saying. So that's a really nice message for you guys. A lot of stuff coming through around a lucky girl, and I specifically keep hearing lucky girl. Put that energy where that fits for you guys. And then I keep hearing stuff about a campfire And then I keep hearing like really like spirit saying pet names. That's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like you know how you just call people, like in Australia we call people babe. Like I call everyone babe. Hey babe, yeah babe, blah 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 babe. But there's something around like darling, sweetheart, things like that, like really spirit saying lover's language. All right, and then last message for you guys. Oh no, sorry. I always say last message and then I say like 4 more messages. All right, so something around Sparta. Yeah, and I put that energy where it fits for you guys. Then I was also getting something around August 18th last year. Yeah, so check your phone, check your emails, check your messages, check your diary, whatever. There is some kind of connection to that that period there, and particularly with the Phoenix rising and the penny dropped and all that kind of stuff. Like you may have been in a period of stagnation from that time even, and feeling like you're only now starting to gain traction, or there may be some kind of clue from that time for you to then gain traction with spirit saying. Something around the mailbox, something around a studio, and also something around a tall man. Yeah, and the tall man message is connected to that full bloom. So that could be like someone that's like full grown, like this could be your child or someone that you haven't seen since they were a child and then they're like fully grown. It's very much a tall man, like a tall man. Spirit is bringing back that King of Swords energy again. I'm not entirely sure why. All right, so we got a few names for you guys. They're all men's names. So we got Cameron, Luke, Paul, Glenn, Gary, and Joseph. I am hearing Anthony. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we're going to move into your tarot portion now. Something about the color yellow. Spirit saying eating, drinking, a lot of yellow things, surrounding yourself with that color will be important for you at this point in time. And there is something around the solar plexus chakra now coming through for you guys. So yeah, any kind of lack of confidence or whatever you're feeling, I would look into the solar plexus chakra and how that could be supportive of your endeavors, and then how you can physically support that chakra system. It's not just a spiritual thing. You can do a lot like to physically support your body and your spiritual being as you traverse through this stuff. So we're getting a lot of weird stuff for you guys, Aries. So we got this stuff around like the beach. So there's a lot of messages coming through around the beach for you guys. So we'll start with the Sea Melodies deck and just get a bit of an overall vibe. Patience. The tide will come in when it's ready. So there is like a level of patience that's needed to be had, and particularly if you're like navigating that really tricky path, like if you imagine yourself going down a really overgrown pathway, like there would have to be a level of patience there. And determination as well, Spirit's saying, that's really necessary to see you through to the end. All right, just one card here for Aries. Strength. Stay afloat and feel steady and calm. Beautiful energy for you guys. And I was also getting stuff around like rainbows and like the eye of the storm. So this little rainbow eraser is in your reading today. And then I also got this Pokemon card that my son had, and it says Ram on it. So that's coming for your reading as well. There is something around like the color pink. Pink and yellow, Spirit's saying. Okay. And there's that patience card again. All right, beautiful. So let's move into your tarot portion. Let's do your internal realm versus your external realm and see what's going on for you guys. What am I going to use? Sorry. All right, Spirit's having me take... They're making me use a lot of oracle cards lately, and I'm kind of into it because I generally don't. But my housemate's got a lot of oracle cards, so I've been using hers, and they're super fun. Okay, so number 7, investigate. Look closely, ask questions, think before acting. What else do I need to see for my lovely, lovely Aries? Let's look at internal and external realms. Internal I'm going to take 2 for... All right, so internal, you've got shine bright like a candle. You will make it through this. And then external, you've got growing up, wanting to grow in experience, rejection of perpetual youth. And 23, we're all mad here. Everyone is a little different. And at the bottom of the deck, follow your own good advice. Trust yourself. You know what is best for you. So really, like, listen to those messages, Aries, because there really is like this deep sense of you finding that strength within, this deep sense of you beginning to understand just how much you can overcome and how much strength does reside within you, how much knowledge resides within you as well. It does feel like you're beginning to trust yourself, or you're coming into this period of like, Spirit saying again, like breaking free of self-imposed restriction. And that's a beautiful, beautiful message. All right, so the way that it's coming through, and I will pull some tarot on this, but what I'm getting initially from these oracle cards is like maybe something that you're doing has been like seen as like odd or unacceptable to somebody else. Yeah, with this raw mad here piece, it is like maybe you're feeling judged by someone, or maybe you're feeling like Spirit saying a lack of being able to express your individuality. That could be for a small portion of you, but it does actually feel like it's for quite a lot of you. So let's move into the tarot portion now. Let's see what's going on for my darling Aries, because it does feel like you guys are feeling a little bit nervous. You guys are feeling like Spirit's saying like some of you have been through the ringer, and that's how you're learning to trust yourself. Yeah, and that's generally the best way to get the job done, is through trials, tribulations, hardships, things like that. It does feel like for a lot of you, this road has been long. This road has been perhaps even like rocky for a lot of you, and for quite a while. Yeah, it does feel like there's been like a sense of lack. It does feel like there's been a sense of like really not knowing where to go, or not knowing where you stand in relationships and things like that. So internally, at this point in time, you do still feel like a sense of not really being 100% sure of which way to go, still weighing up your options, still being like really indecisive perhaps around the relationships that you've got, the dynamics that you're entering into, the dynamics that you're feeding energy into, and like what you're getting back from them. You may be feeling like you're pouring into a lot of other people, and then they're just not really giving you anything back in return. It does feel like there's an imbalance here that's very much affected you internally, and the way that it's coming through is perhaps there's a sense of vulnerability here for you. Perhaps there's a sense of like Spirit saying like really being considerate of others, perhaps, and potentially to the point of like being inconsiderate of yourself. So you've really got to watch that balance. Yeah, like how much are you going to give to somebody else if you can't provide that for yourself? There is something around this energy here where like you really need to learn to trust yourself in this next cycle. And I do believe that a lot of you are learning to do that, but it's a learning process like everything else, and you learn to strengthen that trust within yourself. It's a relationship that you build with yourself and your higher self and your intuition, Spirit saying. So nurture that in whatever process that takes on for you. It does feel like there's something coming through around like the people around you that's really upsetting you at the moment, or really like dissatisfactory in some way, shape or form. It does feel like you're feeling a sense of lack. Like you may be feeling like the relationships that you've got are like quite shallow or surface level, or like there's something about See, and it's funny because I cannot remember anything that came through in your channeled messages now, and generally I would pick up the book and refer back to that, and Spirit saying not to. For some of you, you've closed the book, you've closed the door on some people, some places and some things, and then there may still be like a little sense of like, was that the right decision to make? Am I moving in the right direction? Can I trust these choices that I've made? Like there is something around you like really having a sense of it's not even so much like distrust with yourself. Like maybe you think like you've disillusioned yourself in some way, shape or form. Or maybe you're not like trusting in your own experience and the lessons that that's taught you. Like there is something internally here that's very much awry. Like you're not happy internally, and it does feel like it's It's directly pertaining to the relationships that you share with other people, Spirit's saying to me. All right, so let's move into external for Aries. Yeah. So externally, there's been some kind of painful ending that's come through here. Fucking hell. I want to refer back to the channel messages. I do. All right, so externally, it could feel like there was something that perhaps like didn't go the way that you wanted it to go, something that perhaps ended abruptly, or some kind of shift that happened that perhaps you weren't really prepared for, or maybe you thought was like a crazy move, yeah? Or maybe it's you that's made this crazy move. The way that this is coming through is like externally, there is disruption, there is pain, there is like Spirit saying disputes between you and others, yeah, and it's people that you very much care about. It's affecting you internally to the point where you're starting to question yourself, you're starting to question these relationships, you're starting to question like everything from what I can see. And that's a good place to be. If you're in that place of like really questioning everything, sit back in that discomfort, be curious, be very vigilant in what you allow to become your truth, because you create your own life, you create your own story, and you can create beautiful relationships with those around you by cultivating right relationship within oneself. This takes time, this takes practice, this takes, you know, external relationships to bounce all of these new lessons and new Spirit saying new levels of spiritual development off of. Yeah, like people are reflections. So pay attention to what's being reflected back at you. Is it a positive reflection or a negative reflection? And then what are you then to do with those two things? There is a lot here around the learning process. Is not a pretty one. The learning process is hard. It's long. It's fucking seemingly endless at times. But it does feel like for some of you externally, something has not gone the way that you wanted, or something has ended far quicker than you expected. Perhaps something that you put a lot of work and effort into as well is what I'm hearing. So pay attention to how that's affecting you, and particularly the lessons that you can gain from this. I am actually seeing you be quite sad in the heart space, and you may be like covering that. You may be wearing a mask and like not really letting people see how sad you are. Externally, whatever's happened here, it's hit close to home. Whatever's come through, it does feel like it's been something that perhaps shattered you, like right down to your core, is the way that Spirit's presenting it. And like all I'm actually hearing now and remembering from the channeled messages is that pleasant surprise. In the wake of whatever this is, I do feel like there's going to be a pleasant surprise for you guys, Aries, and I would very much be gentle with yourself as this emerges. 3 of Swords and the 10 of Swords is no joke. Like, that's pain. That's an intense pain at a level that is witnessed by others, recognized by others. Perhaps you're even getting condolences from other people at this point in time. There is an energy here of you like feeling maybe you've lost a really important relationship to you, and that's now having Spirit saying giving you cause to reevaluate other relationships. There is a lot of stuff around you like really learning to trust yourself through this process. And for myself, when I learned to trust myself was when I was at my absolute lowest, like feeling like I was stuck in the bottom of like a well, you know, like really down in the depths of darkness and coldness, and being completely alone and isolated in my pain and my struggles, and not really having a way out of that. And that's where I managed to cultivate, you know, an inner strength that I can barely put into words. So there is a lot coming through around you guys, yeah, finding the willpower to get through this, and really recognizing that you actually do have all of the tools that you're at your disposal to get through or get past or maneuver past. Spirit saying maneuver through this pain, this setback. There has been some kind of setback externally that's really fucking shattered you internally from what I can see. The way it's coming through is like keeping that sense of hope, keeping that sense of like trusting in your journey and trusting in the pivot points that present themselves that seem negative, yeah, and trusting that there will be divine intervention and the universe is working in your favor at all times. What's happening to you is happening for you in some way, shape or form. And when you can try to reframe your mind around your challenges in that sense, it does make it easier to get over them. And I can speak to that from experience. Yeah, it really, really helps to change your mindset in whatever way, shape, or form that you can then gain. You can learn, you can take something from this negative thing or experience or person or interaction or whatever this is for each and every one of you. It does feel like this is fucking heavy, and it's not something that you're going to forget about quickly. So I would like you to be really gentle with yourself through that process. Don't make any rash decisions. If you're in this spot of like weighing up what to do, don't do anything. Sit back, wait for the universe to give you a sign, wait for the universe to present a different opportunity, because it will come through. The way that this is presenting to me is like there was some kind of crazy disruption externally to you, and it seems crazy. Like it seems like this was something that you were not fucking expecting in any way, shape, or form, and it feels like it was negative. Yeah. So my heart goes out to those of you that are really struggling through that. The way that this is coming through, my darlings, and particularly with the only channel messages that I can remember is that pleasant surprise. And I just keep seeing it. I just keep seeing the writing of pleasant surprise. It's like, seeing this pleasant surprise could even be something that you gift to yourself, or something that you discover within yourself as you're going through this process, Aries. This is very much, like for a lot of you, this is spiritual elevation, baby. Whether or not you can recognize it at this point in time, whether or not you see the value in what's happened here, this is absolutely elevating you, and you will make it through this. You'll make it through this, and you'll feel more confident, more secure within yourself. Like you may feel a strength that you've not really yet experienced in this lifetime. And there's the fucking Temperance angel. Spirit saying divine intervention is at play here. If you're very much like feeling down and out and like completely out of luck and completely like, Spirit saying the word despondent, I was going to say like devastated, like having no hope left. Like there may just be a sense of you just like, fuck this, fuck the world, fuck everyone. Like, why am I even bothering with these relationships or this dynamic or this work or whatever's like kind of crumbled down here? The way that it's coming through is like, you will see how this is going to be of benefit to you. You will see how this is going to be of aid to you once the rebalancing has occurred. Internally, it seems like there's sadness. It seems like there's a period of Spirit saying for some of you, like there's been a change externally, like you've moved or something that's now, it's going to take a little while to settle into this new environment. Like there has been some kind of big shift, like you've left something, left a relationship, left some kind of dynamic that was very important to you. Yeah, or like you didn't see coming or you didn't expect. Like there was something around this that was like a fucking shock to your system. The way that it's coming through is like that could even be potentially the element that was needed to get you out of whatever was not working, not moving, stagnant, or not particularly Spirit's saying something about like progression and like the pathway. So whatever you were doing here, it feels like maybe you were stuck. Maybe there was a relationship that was holding you back. Maybe there was a lack of confidence or something that was very much like confining you in some way. That's going to come to an end. And this like Temperance angel, this divine intervention, it could come from like left field. This could be like otherworldly. This could be something that comes through and it feels like you've been kissed by an angel. Like there is absolutely something here that's going to come into play for you guys that feels like Spirit saying the word to me, fucking Elysium. For some of you, you actually are feeling a call to the answer. You're feeling a call to the solution, or like whatever's happened here is like planted some seed that's very quickly grown into something that you know now what you want to do with. Show me this here. Show me what I need to say for Aries. Your reading's gone to shit. Your channeled messages were lush. Your reading's gone to shit. And it's actually upsetting me. So you're feeling constricted. You're feeling constrained. You're feeling like things aren't moving, or you don't have an understanding of why things aren't happening in the way that you would like them to happen, or why this has occurred externally and how this is now affecting you internally. There's something about your lack of understanding here that's really frustrating you. Yeah, I would say to be really gentle with yourself through that process. You only know as much as you know. You can only work with what you've got. So be really, really gentle with yourself as you're going through this, because it feels like externally some kind of disruptions come in that's hit close to home. Some kind of disruptions come in that's really changed or altered things or put an end to something that you were very much invested in, from what I can see. And it does feel like there is a sense of like devastation with this. There is a sense of like, oh my God, what the fuck? But it then leads you to a place of stability and fulfillment and like Spirit saying this whole cycle for you, Aries, is about cultivating that inner strength, is about like rising from the ashes. There is cultivating that inner strength. I just fucking said the word, didn't I? There is something around you having to have bravery, having to have dedication, having to have like a deep sense of trust within yourself as you move through this. So learn to cultivate that and really be gentle with yourself. Yeah, generally the way that we learn is through mistakes. So if you've made mistakes trusting the wrong people, or you feel that you've made some kind of misstep, learn from that rather than berating yourself or punishing yourself for it, because it does feel like this closing out of whatever's happening here is actually going to feel quite good to you once upon completion. But as it's happening, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be fun. And for some of you, it's been something that's been ongoing for quite a while. Like maybe you've been trying to see the end of this for quite a while. The way that this is coming through is like once it is finally closed out and you do close that door and you do feel this sense of like completion with it, there is going to be a sense of balance that comes through here. The equilibrium will be restored very quickly, Spirit saying. For a lot of you, this is environmental, not so much relational. For some of you, it's relational, but the way that this comes through is like you've perhaps left a house or a job that was really quite toxic, or some kind of dynamic that was really not enabling you to grow or expand in the way that you would have liked to, and you recognized that from what I can see. I don't actually think it was you that made this change though. I think it was somebody else or something else that came in here that was very disruptive and very upsetting to you. Going back to the channeled messages now with this pleasant surprise thing, I do think that's incoming for a lot of you. So pay attention to that. Like really, these little pleasant surprises can be, Spirit saying for some of you, it's what keeps you going. Yeah, it can be like the tiniest little thing that's just such an elevation to your spirit. Yeah, so these small acts of kindness that we can extend to others are also being really highlighted here at the moment. Aries, like there is something around like, yeah, being as kind as you can to those around you and having compassion for self and also compassion and deep understanding for others. Like everyone's just doing the best that they can. Sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes it's us. Sometimes it's other people. Sometimes people get hurt. That is the journey of life. The biggest thing that you can do here is learn to trust yourself through the process, learn from your mistakes, learn from the bad experiences or the negative encounters that you have with people, and try to really use that to your advantage in the growth process, because it does feel like you guys are having like exponential growth. And when that happens, it generally starts internally and then it just like domino effects. Like everything around you must either level up with you or it needs to be shed. So there is a lot coming through for you guys around like Spirit saying knowing the right elements that are supportive for you and knowing the ones that aren't supportive for you. So pay attention to that. All right, I'm feeling like I don't even want to go a layer deeper with heart space and relationships, because I actually feel like we covered it all here. What I want to do for you guys is we'll pull some cards from the Talisman Oracle in support of like what you guys are going through here, and then we'll look at surprises and unexpected from the universe, because it does feel like your energy is super fucking intense, super fucking heavy, and you may really, really be like under the pump, feeling that Spirit saying for some of you, like you're feeling displaced, and this could be amongst friends, this could be like, yeah, within your physical environment. There is something about like a lack or like not being exactly where you want to be and not really knowing if you've also got the strength to move forward either. So nurture yourself through that and like reach out for help. If you really are at that point where you just don't think that you can push on, ask for some help, because guaranteed there will be some form of assistance. Spirit saying readily available to you, and I do love that. All right, so navigation. What else do we need to see for Aries? Balanced emotions. I'll take one more. Thank you, Spirit. At the bottom of the deck, you've got happiness. So that's what you don't see coming. You may not feel that this pathway is ever going to end. You may not feel that this period of stagnancy is ever actually going to be completed, but you will get there. From what I can see, it's going to happen quite quickly. So be gentle with yourself through the process. I feel like I just keep repeating that. Be gentle with yourself, be gentle with yourself, be gentle with yourself. But like, do that for yourself. All right, so navigation. It's time to tap into your innate navigation system and plan your trip. Determine where you are heading and imagine the final destination where you see yourself at peace. After all, even the best GPS wouldn't do any good if you don't know the address. To determine where you are right now in life, clarify your vision and check what attitudes will help you along the way. Forming a new healthy habit doesn't come easily, but you can prevail with a strong will and determination. This card can also symbolize finding your calling and purpose in life, which feels bang on for where we are. And then balanced emotions. Jellyfish are graceful creatures that trust the ocean currents to take them to their destination. Trusting in the universe to come in here is definitely going to be like where you guys are at, yeah? Jellyfish are graceful creatures that trust the ocean currents to take them to their destination. Take a moment to evaluate the way you spend your energy. Sometimes we cannot see the grand picture and get caught up in the moment. If we are unable to see the lesson a situation is teaching us, we can get entangled in our emotions and the need for control. Are you holding on too tightly to feelings that don't serve you well? It's easier to see the solution when you feel calmer. Find a peaceful place in your home or outside where you can spend some time allowing your emotions to exist without judgment. Take a breath, acknowledge them, and let go of those that no longer support you. So bang on. I fucking love this deck so much. If you guys are interested, this is the Talisman Oracle. I bought it from Amazon and it's fucking so good. It's actually probably one of my favorite decks. And then you guys got magical power. We are born with a special gift of magic. We often overlook this extraordinary power to bring happiness to those around us or into our own hearts. In the center of all is a very powerful emotion, love. By setting up our intent, we can create a new world. Believing in ourselves begins with loving and being kind to who we are, understanding our limits and pushing just a little further to better ourselves. I love that, pushing just a little further. Maybe that needs to be your mantra for this month, you guys. In these ways, we become closer to fulfilling our purpose in life. The dragonflies start their life as larvae in water and later rise up into the air and fly. They are our connection with nature and our guides to the realm of magic. So pay attention to dragonflies. I do feel like you'll see a dragonfly this month that's really going to come to you at a time when you really need that spiritual support. So pay attention to the signs that the universe is giving you, Aries. I feel like your reading's super intense. If you guys would like me to come back and do a mid-month, I will absolutely do that for you guys. It feels like the biggest thing for you guys is this strength and patience piece, yeah? Learning to trust yourself, learning to navigate the path at whatever pace feels right and correct and appropriate for you. There is something around like not discrediting the sadness that's happened or is happening or that you're going through or whatever disruption that's caused you to feel like really, really internally like at a loss or not sure what to do now. I would very much say to like be patient with yourself as you cultivate the strength to move through this, because it is one step at a time. And it does feel like, yeah, for a lot of you, there has been some kind of barrier presented externally that's really, really set you back in some way, shape or form. So honor that for yourself and don't gaslight yourself into trying. Yeah, Spirit saying like toxic positivity isn't actually a positive mindset. So everything that I said about that positive mindset is absolutely true, but if it's fake, like you're just lying to yourself. So only truth and honesty is going to be your best friends, particularly when it comes to your own emotions and how you feel navigating this next cycle. There is something coming through for you guys around like really, really being unsure of yourself. So honor that. Yeah, if you're not sure what to do, don't do anything. Yeah, there is this really Spirit saying to take all of these. Okay. Excuse that shuffling. That was fucking terrible. All right. So haystack. Karma. You will reap what you have sown. Crib, birth or conception of a child or enterprise. Something around April is important for you guys. Sun, happiness and well-being. Leg, stepping into a new experience. Camel, persevere and you will overcome problems. And Diamond, you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. Didn't we get that already for you guys? Okay, so your energy is looking intense. It's looking like things are really kind of all over the shop at the moment. So sit in that chaos, be in the eye of the storm for as long as serves you, and really navigate this in a way that's honest and true to yourself, because that's going to be your best bet in all given situations, but particularly in regards to whatever's come up here for you guys. Aries, I am going to leave it there. I'm loving yous and leaving yous. If you do want another reading, or you want a love reading or something like that, let me know in the comments. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to post this one. It may be on the TikTok and the YouTube, but if not, if you've watched it on one, go follow me on the other. Sending you guys lots of love. And yeah, like, be patient with yourself, because it looks like you've been trudging shit uphill for a little while, and it looks like things are going to be alleviated. But until that assistance comes into play, or that alleviation comes into play, like, really nurture yourself through this, yeah? Spirit saying something about the importance of good shoes. I don't know why that's important. But I suppose, like, if you're going on a long trek, or Spirit saying expedition, like, you need good shoes. So, and now I'm hearing something about, like, walking a mile in another man's shoes. So again, that compassion piece, yeah, around, like, you may be going through a tough time, but that's not to discredit other people around you going through a tough time. So yeah, really try not to be too selfish as you're maneuvering through this. Try to honor your emotions and have respect for the emotions of those around you as you're doing that. That seems like a nice place to leave it. Okay, my darling Aries, I am going to log off now. I love yous, and I hope that hits for you guys. And let me know how that goes. And yeah, I don't know what else I want to say. Oh. All right, love you. Bye.